Show, and I promised it, but I was doing an interview with Jake the Hitman Samples. Been a little bit of everywhere in his life, from two-time All-State linebacker, running back, to All-State wrestler, bank robber slash hitman slash top of WVAB home ruled, to a pro fighter. But you've been a little bit of everywhere, Jake. But tonight, December 13th, you're at the main event at the Redneck Brawl in Charleston, West Virginia, correct? Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah. No, doing our
So
physicals right now.
you decided to call out the one that they call the legend on this event, Tennessee Cornbread. What made you want to call him out?
Oh man, because it's gotta be a good fight. Like, just put me against anybody, I'll just destroy him. So this guy's won like 7 in a row or something like that. So he's the best I got. So I want the best. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a good one.
Well, I'll tell you what, I watched a couple of his fights and he did okay with them other guys, but tonight I think he's gonna get humiliated. I watched the
Oh,
weigh in and I seen the fear in his eyes.
yeah, yeah, he's got his hands full. For sure.
So that's where you're at now. Let's talk a
Yeah.
little bit about where you were before. So coming up, tell us a little bit about your childhood and how it led into you going into prison.
Well, I kind of grew up poor, man. Didn't have nothing. Like, sports was my getaway. Like, I was really.
Audio's cutting out, Jake. Your audio's cutting out. Look and see if you hit your mute button.
Yeah, it used to
Yeah,
be I
you
lived in my.
muted yourself.
Are you still
You had
there?
muted yourself right when you started. Yeah, I can hear you now, but
Oh yeah.
start right back when you started telling us that you grew up poor and how it led to, you getting in trouble and stuff.
Yeah, I grew up poor, man. Didn't have nothing. Like, hardly any food. Um, Mom was everywhere. You know, and basically I lived with my friends, house to house. And I was able to do that because I was real good at sports. And that's how you meet friends. That's how you meet connections when you're younger. And I just bounced around everywhere, man. Met a bunch of people, probably 30 different schools. And it was definitely rough, you know what I mean? But it kind of shaped me because I was in fights as early as like kindergarten. So it definitely played a big part in my role. Like, I was able to get good talking to people and learn about different people from different places. And yeah, that's how I grew up. The sports was what got me through.
So you ended up going into the Marine Corps prior to you tell us a little bit about your experience with the military.
Okay, I went to Paris Island in 2005. I was an honor grad. I was guide, which is like the top position there. You have guide, then you have your squad leaders. Well, I was guide and graduated with honors. Went to school of infantry called SOI. I was 0311, which was a rifleman. And then I started getting in trouble. I went to the brig, Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, and
Wow.
yeah, I was there for about probably 6 months. And then they released me with a bad conduct discharge.
So you spoke about being in the brig. What was that compared to when you went to the penitentiary on the state level? What was the brig like?
Oh, it's love, man. You go in there and you're in blues. You're called a detainee, and you get paid the whole time you're in there. And they feed you like steak or burgers or pizza. You get to pick. It's love, man. It was all right. And then when you get sentenced, you go to Orange.
So you got paid until you were actually sentenced on that. Okay, so you
It's good
got you
military.
got di- go ahead.
Yeah, the COs they're Marines, so it's not a joke really. Like, I picked up a dude in there and slammed him on his head, and yellow stuff started coming out of his ear. And I thought I killed him, man, because I never seen that. Luckily, like, he pulled through. He was in the neck brace, and I seen him go down the hall. So I skidded out on that one. Yeah, they're pretty
So
serious
you
there.
started early with the assaults and stuff. So you got out, ended up robbing a bank, right? When you got out of the
What
Marines, you ended
Robert?
up robbing a bank, right?
Yeah, man. I got to a point in my life where I was just like, I wasn't working steady, man. Had a kid, and then I started getting in trouble, making bad choices. It was like all or nothing. And
Right.
I wasn't a good criminal, obviously. You know what I mean? Like I had to learn.
For sure. So what
Yeah.
ended up you ended up getting how many years out of that robbery?
Well, I'm sorry.
What did they end up sentence you to for off of that robbery?
Okay, they gave me a bank robbery charge in the state of West Virginia as a 10 to 25. And then I had 4 B&Es. They ran wow on top of it. So I got 1485.
So you got sentenced to 14 to 85 years. Now,
Yeah.
in the system, you were known for pretty much all violence your entire bid. Tell us
Yeah.
about you were one of your best friends, Trooper, had ended up killing somebody on the weight pile. Tell us a little bit about that, because I know it was your partner.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's my buddy, man. He's one of the smartest dudes you meet. He's a real charismatic guy. But he's a killer. Like, he waited, worked out with this dude for like a couple months, and then got him on the weight pile, stabbed him in the neck, and then stabbed him in the face like 60 times, and broke his own hand doing it. And yeah,
See,
it's a pretty big
I was
deal.
in the infirmary up there at Mount Olive at the time. I got bit by a spider back there when I was in receiving up there. So I was in infirmary with a nurse that me and you talked about before. She said when she went out to the yard to try to stitch this dude up after they did the hit, there was so many holes bleeding at the same time. She didn't know how to start, where to start at. The guy died. He was dead when she got there though. So that was your buddy. You get there. Uh, Tell us about some of your situations that ended up giving you the name that you did in prison, because you ended up going to the hole for almost 10 years, didn't you?
After another, like, I think the very first one I got was slow mo, and I hit him one time, and it sounded like a shotgun. My lane was my fault. So I got out, and
Right.
then the next one was Miami. So he wasn't really worth my time, man, but he just owed some money.
What happened with Miami
And
is that
I broke his, yeah, I broke his arm and arm bar, both of them.
you say you
And
broke both of his arms. Walk us through that.
yeah, I put him in two different arm
So
bars.
how did that go
Yeah,
down? I'm sure the viewers would like to hear how that happened.
man, it went down like $100. And I went up to him and was like, "Hey, bitch, you got money for commissary, but you ain't got money to pay my due." And
Right.
he's like, "Oh, this ain't mine." Like,
Right.
I just hit him, man. Yeah, and dropped him. Then I put him in the arm bar on the left arm. The switch got the other arm. And that time, they just shut down. They came on there, got me, and then they shut down the whole prison because of it.
So you cranked both of
Once
his
about an
arms till
hour.
you broke them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't carrying no more bags of groceries, was he?
No, he wasn't. I think they scooped them up.
So what ended up happening? I know you had a few more assaults up there and some pretty serious ones. Uh, what
Well, I did
happened with
5 years for that. For that, no, actually, after that, when I got back out after doing quality of life, and I got a guy named Jason Anderson, and I beat him hard. He about died. His brain swelled, and I thought he was going to die. And I got, by the grace of God, like now looking back, I realized how close it was for me, like never getting out again.
right
And he pulled through, man. I didn't get no charges, and I did 5 years for that.
in the hole? When
And
you
they
say
let
you
me out.
did 5 years, for our viewers, I want y'all to understand. He's not saying he got out and did years. These are years that he was doing in the hole for these assaults.
Yeah, they let me out. And then as a staff member the next time, Gary Hinte,
Yeah, I know
he's a
Hente.
communications officer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was out there cussing us and stuff, and me, Joey E, Sergio, and then he was like, "Get on the wall." Everybody got on the wall. But I was like, "Fuck you! I ain't getting on the wall." He's like, "Get on the fucking wall." Bro, I just dropped him, knocked him out, and then I just went crazy. Started trying to get. I would never hit a woman, but at that time I was mad, crazy. I was going
Right.
after his old lady. I broke the window trying to get to her, and A4, my dude, man.
I
He
know
stood with
A4.
me, and yeah, he fought the cops off with me and everything. And he
Yeah,
had my back,
A4.
man.
He's this big around and crazy as all get out, ain't
He's real, man.
he?
Yeah,
He's
I love
real.
that dude. Yeah,
So you end up getting up there to 3D, which is death or discharge in the hole, right?
yeah, yeah. I did.
So,
I think it's almost 4 years of that. So I got 9 years in, like just in the hole right there, maybe a little more. Oh, yeah.
and the only reason that you got out of 3D is because you made parole finally, right?
Well, they had to give me some education because I had a parole date, so it changed the rules up for me. So they gave me a laptop. I was able to do college. I did college for 2 years just to get off that thing. And then I worked my way down to Stevens, St. Mary's, and then they brought somebody that had a keep away on me, so I had to go back to Stevens. And then he couldn't live there. They checked him off because they found out about it. And then I got back to St. Mary's.
So
Yeah,
now you're out. You know, you went through all that craziness up there. You got
yeah,
out and you're doing something positive now because, you know, after going through all that, you know, God's starting to do some works in your life, correct? You're fighting tonight and there's talks of you going pro, is right? You're breaking up a little bit, Jake. If you can try to get back to that spot you was in. There you go. Yeah. Let's see if it'll clear back up now. For our viewers, his stuff's locked up, but he's getting it fixed. All right, I can see you and hear you now. So so you got the tough man coming up. You're fighting the redneck brawl tonight. Talks of maybe a rematch with West Lane at some point, correct?
just
Guys,
too
we're
far.
having technical
But
difficulties. His
he's coming.
screen keeps locking up. Jake, I'm sorry we couldn't hear that last part, but we're trying to get it fixed. I know the viewers want to hear that. If you want to run that back down, what happened with you in West Lane again?
Man, we was battling in here. It was we set the record for attendance on the Rough and Rowdy. It was 2006, I think, and he won it the year before. We go all 3 rounds on a split decision. He gets it. But of course, he won it the year before,
Right.
you know. So, but it was so close, man, and it was a great fight. And he went on to be professional. I think he was like one.
Man, that is what's up. So d- are you guys planning a rematch? Man, it is really breaking up bad, buddy. Listen, guys, we're gonna end this live because his is breaking up really bad, but we're gonna finish up when he gets better service. Jake, we can't. It keeps breaking up bad. If you got, I love you too, brother. We're gonna get on. Hey, good luck tonight. Smash cornbread, man. Everybody, this has been Jake Samples Part One. We'll get another Part Two on here when he gets better service. Make sure you subscribe to the Sco Show and up the Sco. Remember, the only way to catch Part Two of Jake the Hitman Samples is subscribe and let's get it.